Well, I got it apart, and I'll show you what I'm up against. Apparently, just the rust on here was just too thick to pound through. I mean, I tried different penetrators. Now this, if this didn't come out, you know, without getting cracked, it's okay, because I still have this side of my clutch that is still alright. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I noticed getting close to the end, I guess the steel was just a little too thick going through. It cracked it right there. And I thought, oh, as long as this one's okay, I'll be good. Well, let's see if I can see it. See this right here? I don't know if you can see that. Right there, and then over to that hole. So what I'm gonna need to do is drill a hole right there so that it doesn't crack further, and then try to grind out a groove out of here, and then braze that, or take it to somebody who's got a who's set up to weld aluminum. I'm not right now. I never got set up to do aluminum. Actually, it looks like it goes from here down to there. So actually, I need to drill a hole there. Boy, this project has just really gone more than I anticipated. I could try some of those magic brazing rods. You've probably seen them on TV, where it's like a low temperature solder kind of thing, but you can use it on different metals, mainly aluminum. Maybe I'll try that. It's just unfortunate that you can't find these clutches anymore. If I had the money, I would send this off to a foundry and have them make another one, but can you imagine how much that would cost? Anyway, it's probably time for me to go to bed, and I will continue working on this tomorrow. Okay, just wanted to show, I drilled holes where the crack stopped. This one I went at an angle because the crack on the back side is over there, so I went parallel with the crack. And over here, there's two holes because the crack on this side stopped there, but the crack on the other side came up against that, I don't know what you call that, tooth there. And so you can see the crack there. So I'm gonna be figuring out how I can fix that. Get back with you. Okay, here's a little update. originally thought about repairing it with these low temperature, they call them brazing rods, but it's below 850 degrees, which is where technically what you consider brazing. These are 750 degree working temperature, and they do actually stick to the metal, and they actually work how they described. But when you have a mass of aluminum and you try to heat it up, it takes a while to heat it up if you're using a propane or MAP gas torch. I actually used a propane torch, and it did heat it up to where it sticks, and I tested it on this other half of the clutch because it had a crack on the top around that cylinder there where the shaft goes through. I haven't sanded it down, ground it up, but it actually did work. That part on there that looks like a crack, I was just looking at that. That's not a crack. It's just where I ground on it a little bit. They claim it's got a tensile strength of 40,000 psi, which I don't know if I believe that. But it's likely at least as strong as the cast aluminum under certain conditions. Now, if you get in the high heat, yeah, it's going to fail. But this is not going to be high heat. And I thought since the stress isn't going to be in certain directions, that kind of fix would work. However, this is pretty thick, about 9/16 thick in the middle, so I knew I'd need to repair it from both sides. And it was partway through when I was working on this that I realized that going this route, fixing both sides won't work, because to heat up, to keep that hot to where that flows, to where this rod flows in there, and then flipping it over to do the other side, whether you let that cool and then did it again, either way, the first side is just gonna, stay melted and just fall out. So I always wanted a good excuse to shop for an AC/DC TIG welder for doing aluminum and stuff. Right now is not the best time to be spending the money on it, but I figure, I'll use it a lot. So I'm shopping around for a good deal on a TIG welder that I can weld aluminum with. You can see I was looking in town for a rasp, a carbide rasp to put in my pneumatic die grinder and take out a V groove out of here to come in and fill that. But nobody in town had one like I was looking for, especially not for the price, because there's one welding shop that's nearby in the town closest to me, and they were like 50 bucks a piece, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do that. So I'm still looking for that. I may look on Amazon and do that, but I've been using this this little tool here. It's actually pretty strong for how small it is, but it does get kind of bogged down as I'm trying to grind out on there. So I used a drill bit and drilled down just to get some of it out, and then I was just kind of grinding out between those. And then This side I got just a little bit in there. I haven't gone deeper. I'm not gonna come back to this side and address this side until after I TIG weld and fill inside of that side. I would just simply look for another clutch to replace this one, but part of me wants the challenge of repairing it to know how well it will do after that. That's just how I am. It would definitely be cost effective for me if I found another one that was in decent shape, but that's if I find one. I figure this may be one of the last existing clutches for a Harley Davidson golf cart that even exists. That it doesn't already have, it's not already worn through on these surfaces here. Well, that's where I'm at. It took me a while even to get this far because I had to repair my vehicle. There was a, I don't know if you can see it. If I can bring the light up a little. Not quite, but the little, I don't know what you call it, bracket where the anti-sway bar is connected, it broke off, and so I welded that back on for a number of hours, trying to rebuild enough steel in there to up the side of the frame rail that I could even attach it to. So I will continue to keep you posted on this project, and I'll likely get into something else for a little while I shop for a TIG welder and wait for it to come in. Over and out.